boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. Where did the intro go? I don't know. Where did the little intro thing go? I don't know. It disappeared. Why did the intro thing disappear? I don't know. I guess we'll go to scene 2, because the intro thing disappeared. I don't know why, or where, or what happened. Hey, I don't know if anybody notices, there's another little dog back there. They just walked in right at the beginning. They didn't take their marks, you guys. They didn't understand. Hey, you're not supposed to come in right at the beginning of the live stream. It's going to be dog surprises. Good call, Rarutu. Dog surprises. Punky Pam, first to the chat. What's up? Gone Mad is here. What is going on? Fish Tropic, and of course Rarutu. Matt Go Matt, what up? And yeah, so we're gonna have a Saturday late night style live stream here, folks, because it's 8 o'clock Pacific Standard. We're not doing the early Saturday live stream, obviously, because I bet most of you own a clock and you know what time it is. What time is it, right? What time it is? What time is it? And as I said yesterday on the live stream, we're going to try to do an early one today, but here comes the problem. We had to go get this new old dog. So we had to go out and we had to drive around quite a bit, hang around in the old traffic. Then we had to meet that guy right there. What is his name? His name is Mr. Chips. His name is Mr. Chips. His name is Mr. Chips. Just like Fight Club, you guys. His name is Mr. Chips. Biddy Brown, as always, is down here at the feet. She probably doesn't want to come up here. Biddy, do you want to come up? Do you want to come here? Oh, lazy dog, come here. Oh, guys. This is Biddy Brown. This is our lady dog. This is our lady doggy. And that other one there, that's the new dog, Mr. Chips. He seems to be gone, but I believe I have some video of him, so I can show you guys a little video of him coming in and out of the fish room. So, yeah, that's Biddy Brown. And then Mr. Chips is the new old dog. Apparently, 12-year-old rat terrier something mix. Looks kind of like a blue heeler or something mixed with a rat terrier. I don't know. It's kind of a weird little funky looking guy, but he's a sweetheart, and we're not really sure why somebody got rid of him. We know there's really no backstory on him. This is that he got dropped off at a shelter, that he's an old dog. So generally old dogs don't get picked up. They just don't. Apparently people just leave them there. And so we wanted to get another dog for the little Biddy there to hang out with. So we got her an elderly boyfriend who could relax and do his thing and just be generally chill, right? So far so good, except for he definitely has a desire to eat the chickens who are here. Matt got his name is Robert Paulson reference, the old Fight Club. Yeah, we could call Biddy Potato. I think we could. We call her old Biddy Browns. Aquatic Hobbyist is here. FU2 is here. Sergeant Tank, aka Jeremy's here. Valley Fish, what up? And April Shaw. Howdy, Saturday night. What's up, guys? Thanks for coming out to I don't know, engage in live streaming action. We got some stuff. We got that dog. I guess first and foremost, we got a new old dog. And So we got that going on, and I also sorted out the Refugium on the Reef. So people that are excited about that, I put together a Refugium. So we'll go over a little video on that, and also some video on the 240. Will be coming up in regards to just some stuff that's kind of going on there, and of course I got an old bag here. Then there was another thing I was. There's another thing I was supposed to hit on. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll probably remember it by the time we get to that point in the live stream, right? That'll be probably pretty good. Fish Tropic is asking, do I do voiceovers? I would do voiceovers, but I don't necessarily do voiceovers. You know, if you know what I'm saying. Right here at the beginning of the live stream, I'd like to hit up on some news that happened today. So, the huge job that I was getting geared up for that was supposed to start on Monday is actually being pushed back to September. So it's basically the end of July right now, and it was almost about Augustariard. So it's actually just got pushed back by a month because of travel schedules and some family stuff or whatever. They just didn't want it done until a month from now. So on the upside, schedule's opening up, so I'm going to be doing some other projects, which is actually cool for you guys because we'll be doing some other projects. I got some other stuff coming along. I have some art things that are in the pipe that some of you subscribers / viewers / right would probably be interested in. A lot of people have been wildly interested in that shrimp painting back there, and as I said before, I'm probably going to make 20 of them to the 0 of a limited editions of those signed and numbered. I'll probably be doing those not this coming week, but probably the following week. And let's be smart here, guys, and take a look at the schedule. The week of August 3rd, the 7th until the 11th is when we'll probably be doing those. And I'll probably ship those out to the leading Patreon patronizers. I can't help but say the Patreon patronizers, Patreon-ish patronizers. If you haven't gone to the Patreon page, there it is in the chat. You guys can check that out. www.patreon.com/Joel_C. That is me. And speaking of Joel's, Joel Gillett has arrived in the chat. One of our lovely, our only moderator from New Zealand, the only Kiwi moderator to bring a little bit of that in. Fish Tropic. What is a Patreon? What is a pattern? What is a Patreon? Let me explain the Patreon real quick, because Fish Tropic is wondering what a Patreon is. So that Patreon page, if you go click the link in the chat there, you can pop over and take a look. You can take a look at the Patreon page. So the Patreon page is essentially, it's like you could subscribe, right? And you could you could be essentially backing the production of this live stream / channel, all the videos and all that stuff that I put up. It's basically you could back it, and it's just like a monthly subscription, right? So that you could and I keep saying subscription, maybe that's not the best way to do it. It's like you'd be part of the production of this stuff, and it's a perfect opportunity for people that aren't able to make it to the live streams but watch them all the time. I want to completely get rid of advertising altogether and just turn off all of the YouTube advertising and all that kind of stuff, so that there never is a pop-up ad or anything like that. And we've gotten rid of most of it, although we have a goal on there that we need to hit in order to do that. So far, we're about halfway to that goal. It's not a huge goal. It's not wildly lofty amount of money or anything, but if we have enough backers, essentially, people that are backing the production of it, it's basically once a month charge that you could charge. You could pay like $5 or $2 or $10 or $20 or whatever. You could be totally crazy and just go ahead and hit the 10,000 on there, and then we would just would handle all production for quite a long time. We're looking for like maybe a Jeff Bezos type character to cover that production part. And then so the thing is with that is that a lot of people can't super chat or any of that kind of stuff. It's an easy way to get on there, and if you want to back the channel, then you can. If not, then whatever. And essentially, the Patreon patronizers, the people that are on there, are they're not going to get any additional videos or anything crazy like that, because I don't want anything to ever be behind a paywall, like you need to pay to access anything. So that's why nothing will ever be behind there. But there are some perks and benefits to being on there, and those really just come down to me doing stuff, essentially extra things. Like I said, 10 of those shrimp paintings that I'm going to make are going to actually go to those top 10 patronizers, right? So the people that have been doing that and backing the channel and stuff. So it's kind of a good thing. I think it's pretty cool. Also, it is 100% transparent, so you guys can get on there and see exactly what is going on, right? So exactly how much money is going in, what the next goal is, what's broken, what needs fixing, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So right now our main goal is to get a new video encoding card and fix the software that we have to pay for right now. We still have to pay for this software, and then we also would like to upgrade this software so we can get a little bit better versions out to you guys and a little more interactive and kind of better quality and that kind of stuff. So that's our main goal right now. Let's see. Doing the work thing a lot. Valley Fish, where you been? Oh, Dion is here. What is up? Hello, all. I'm here. Dead Boy NYC, what is going on? I haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see you coming out, making it out on a Saturday. That's pretty cool. One of the other easy ways to support the channel, if you want, is to go to darkstararts.com. Click through the Amazon banner at the top and shop for whatever you want. Blah, blah, blah. I think you all understand how most of this works. A lot of the new subscribers over the last week have basically been sent here from old Jimmy and Corey over at Aquarium Co-op. Some of the news on the old what do you call it, interwebs going around is that and ever so graciously Corey maxed out the super chat, which I didn't know that was even something that you could do the other day, which was pretty cool. So hello to all you new subscribers. If this isn't exactly what you're looking for, I understand. I get it. Kind of a weirdo, and maybe if you were sent by those guys, maybe you were looking for something else. I don't know, but that's this is what it is. So if you like it, thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down or whatever. It's all good. I'm going to be here doing what I'm doing. Recently had some conversations with a few people that were excited about some of the other podcast type live stream stuff that's coming up. That will be happening tomorrow. So those of you that like to watch the early Sunday live stream, I'm very sorry. We're going to be traveling and rambling up a mountain. And if you want to be super creepy internet style, we're going up Mount Belgica is what it is called. Over here in Western Washington, we'll be going up, summiting that. Caroming back down, a.k.a. rolling. We'll be rolling down the hill and seeing what's going on up at the top of the mountain. We'll come back down here, and Derek is going to come in here, and we're going to try and do a 2-man live stream tomorrow. And I would love to give you guys a time, but I'm not sure exactly what time that's going to be, but it's definitely going to be at least the afternoon. That is for sure. That is that. Let's see what else is going on. So tomorrow will be the inaugural two-guy live stream, two weirdos getting weird, talking about stuff. I don't know that Derek has a ton of aquarium information in his head or anything like that. It's just, we're not coming in with topics and stuff. We're just going to kind of see how it goes. So we'll probably rely a little bit on the chat to kind of see what we're going to talk about. But tomorrow will be open to all questions. It doesn't really matter what you guys want to bring up. On Sunday, the 30th? 30th. It'll be the 30th. That's going to be kind of fun, I think. I think it'll be kind of fun. And should be pretty decent. Oh, man, that is a really good point. So I'm reading the chat here, and Olympia Shrimpery says temps are going to push to 100 next week. Looks like 102 on Thursday, which means I'm probably just going to be hanging out in the basement wondering why whatever that creates the weather hates us so much. 95 Wednesday, 102 Thursday, 95 Friday, 89 Tuesday. Oh, it's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a burner all next week. And it's asking, how do I keep my fish tanks cool? So the, oh, hold on a second here. So the, how do I keep my tanks cool, right? I keep my tanks cool by having built my own fish room that is fully insulated. So the new fish room, you guys, just to give you an idea, so the main building that it is in, if you go into the main body of the building, which is like the wood shop area and all that kind of stuff, it's about 110 degrees, 120 right now, because it is a very poorly insulated building. It's actually just wood. It's an old 100-year-old shop. So it was never really intended to have any kind of insulation or even anything in it like that. So often it's about 120, or summertime it's been blisteringly hot in there. But you go into the fish room and it actually is just sitting about 70 degrees. So it's as long as I keep it closed up, that's not going to be an issue. If I find bigger problems coming along here, I actually do have a mobile AC unit that I can run out and take out there. We actually have two of them in the building here. So we're going to have one in the living room of the house and then another one out in the fish room if we really need it. I guess I'll be finding out Tuesday, Wednesday, although we've already gone through a really hot stretch here, and it really wasn't all that problematic as we went through the hot stretch. The only weird part is my unfinished door, as Dwayne Kitchell pointed out yesterday, that I do have a gap between the floor and the unfinished door, but I can just probably stick a sock or a towel or something over that in the meantime. So that will be pretty normal. But yeah, having fully insulated that room, the temperature really stays pretty stable in there so far with the hot weather. We're going to find out through the cold weather exactly how well it works, but so far it has been pretty much pristine, staying in there just right about the right temperature where we want it to be, which is, 68 to 72. It just kind of sits right in there until I come in and open up all the doors and, everything flying around. It definitely does get weirdly, it warms right up in there. So I know that that's not a huge help to people out there that may or may not have a room that is really holding temperature where you need it to be. But one of the easiest ways to keep tank temperature down is to actually move air across the top of the tank, if that makes sense. Obviously turn off your heaters, but if you move air across the top of the tank with a fan, that can actually help out quite a bit because of the exchange of temperature through the evaporation. For evaporative effect, you will actually drop some temperature in the tank, which is a good way to do it. You could always buy an aquarium chiller if you've ever used one of those before, though they're really expensive and expensive to run, so that's not really generally that great. But the other reasonable way to keep the temperature down in your tank is wait till the hottest point in the day, generally in the area where I live, is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and go ahead and do a water change at that time of day, and you can actually drop the temperature down a little bit. Like, let's say if you're all the way up at 80, you can sit there and do a water change and get it back down to like 68. And then as the cool air from the night comes in, hopefully it'll be nice and stable over the evening, and then slowly climb a little bit throughout the day again, if that makes sense. So you can actually do some water changes and drop it down a little bit too. 5-4 punchy. Wow, temps are going to be in the 70s with lows in the upper 40s here in southern Wyoming. Okay, that is just weird that southern Wyoming would be that cold today. It gets horribly muggy in western Oregon and Washington when it gets hot. Yeah, it will be muggy. It will be hot. It was already hot today. It was hot out today. I'm not sure. I think they were saying it was like, 83, 84 or something like that. And Dark Heart Animal made it here. Hey, what's going on? So like I was saying, there are some interesting ways to try and get your temperatures down. I find the easiest way is just to keep the room temperature cool, and that will definitely be the easiest way for me to mitigate it, because I can just hook up an AC out there and drop it down in the meantime. And it's also not that big of a room, so it's not a ton of square footage that that would need to be cooled. So it's not I don't need like a crazy huge AC unit. So and I could probably just set it to something like 74, 72 like that, and just get it dropped down a little bit, and that would be not that big of a deal. Oh, 5-4 punchy is at 8,000 feet elevation. Okay. All right. That is a good spot. That's just about where I would like to live. Up deep in the Wyoming is where I want to live, realistically. Joel Gillett over there in opposite land. It was 1 degree this morning. What's a 30C? What is that? 30 Celsius? Is that hot? Is that hot out? I don't know. Hold on, I gotta... Maybe if I convert this... Oh! There we go. Okay, so let's see. Now that I got it converted to Celsius. Oh, let's continue. I don't know. Whoa! Check out the input there. Let's, well, we had our camera drop out again. How cool is that? It's been a while since that. It's been a really long time since that's happened. Yet another reason why we have the Patreon and the super chat feature and all that kind of stuff. Let's see here. See if something was going on. Let's double check. Let's double check if something was going on, guys. All right. Cool. All right, nothing's going on. It's just apparently something to do with XSplit again. Apparently XSplit is going freaking out and dropping the camera for some reason. So I don't know. Apparently if I go to that weather page, maybe it screws with everything. I switched it to Celsius, so maybe that made everything, maybe it made the computer freak out and try to break. But I guess before the I think before the XSplit freaks out again, let's go to the next scenes and see what we got going on here, and try to get to the Refugium. Somebody just showed up and was excited about Refugiums. Where did that thing go? Who was that? Reef and Livebearer Aquatics. What's up? That was you. That was Reef and Livebearer Aquatics. So, as you guys have been watching from some of the older videos here, I've been screwing around with this Reef for a little bit here, and know that I was a little bit in a bit of a hurry with all the work and everything that I've been doing, so I didn't get my Refugium set up ahead of time. I've got my Kato in the sump, And that has been going it's been going fairly well. It hasn't been, I wouldn't say that it's been growing like crazy, but it hasn't exactly been in the legit spot that I want it to be in. And let me throw this into the chat if anybody's wondering what Chaetomorpha is. Whoops. Some people call it Cheeto. Some people call it Chaeto. Who knows? But that's how you spell it right there, so you guys can look that up. And you guys can see here. So I basically have all these little rocks and stuff. This is all my rubble. These is all these little tiny pieces and shells. And essentially to equate it to something that would be in a freshwater tank, this is basically my biomedia. This is like my biomedia of the saltwater variety. You guys can see me pushing around all these little pebbles, and I actually have some old egg crate that was in this sump, so I'm actually just repurposing the egg crate that I had in here to actually just build a little refugium area, because I'm basically only going to be running Chaeto and possibly some other macroalgae. I'm basically just making a big long chamber with a little divider piece in there to keep out the others from mixing together. And here's basically the finished product minus the divider that I put in there, I think. Yeah. So I missed doing the divider in there. Reef and Live Bear keeps asking me about Miracle Mud, and I have not had great experience with Miracle Mud myself. So I don't know if I'm going to end up going that route. I don't know if I'm going to go the Miracle Mud route or not. I really doubt it, honestly, because I just haven't had that great experience with it that I always hoped that I would. I always hoped that Miracle Mud would literally be a miracle. But I ended up, every time I've used it, I ended up having more problems than I was hoping for, if that makes sense. And it doesn't make me sound like a rude jerk or anything, because I'm not trying to be a jerk. But for me, it just, it kept coming up and being more of a problem than anything else. Realistically, I always ended up taking it out of every reef that I ever had, because it as I said, it generally caused me more trouble than it was really worth for me. So I really doubt that I'm going to be doing the Miracle Mud. I'm probably actually just going to stuff this full with more rubble. I'm going to add the second skimmer, and I actually made a little space today to actually just be able to hook up my GFO and phosphate reactors in case I need them at any point in time, because as you guys know, I polish monthly with charcoal. So I do the activated charcoal once a month, and that's generally going to be the plan that I'm going to be rocking with, is that, and I'm also going to be more or less trying to work it out so that I'm only doing a water change once every 3 months. So obviously here at the beginning, this tank isn't that old. It's not that established yet. It has problems and stuff because it is a new tank. So once it does get established, that's my goal, is essentially a simple water change once every 3 months, maybe even 6 months, something like that, is essentially where I'm trying to get it to, so that I can actually just be dosing, paying attention to the water, and doing the water top-offs, and basically running Chaeto and all those things to pick up all my excess nutrients out of the water. I'll probably find some Caulerpa at some point in time. Excuse me. I'll probably find some Caulerpa to add also to it at some point in time, but I haven't found any yet. I haven't found anybody that has any. So once I find some really nice Caulerpa, I'll probably be adding that in also. I realistically would love to learn about Miracle Mud from somebody that it has worked out for. That is something that I would look forward to being able to check out at some point in time. Hopefully meet somebody who it's worked out, maybe bring him on. Maybe bring him on the live stream. Who knows? But for me, it just never worked out. It was something I was kind of a magic bullet that I was hoping would have worked out. I've tried deep sand beds. Also, that didn't work out for me. Even though I've seen it. I've seen deep sand beds work for a ton of people in a lot of really cool ways. But that never worked out for me. It just ended up kind of being a disaster long term. So, oh, and here is the little video of Mr. Chip, so you get an idea of how old this dog is, and why did it stop playing the little video? There we go. He's a pretty old little guy, and he's like a something mixed with something. It's like a rat terrier mixed with a healer or something. It's all spotty. A very nice little character, though, I have to say. So far, so good. Apparently has some dietary restrictions and whatnot that we're trying to follow. He didn't seem to have much of an appetite today, so he ate a little bit, but we're going to keep working with this dog and see how well he can come along and become part of our pack here, as our pack is slowly growing. It was either this or get a goat. You know what I mean? It was either this or get a goat. And I don't think we have enough space for a goat right now. So, and I don't think Biddy would be able to totally hang with a goat. That Biddy is out. Biddy is napping hard down here. Let's not wake her up with too many surprises. All she did was wake up and wag her tail. Oh, she's a good dog. But we will be getting goats at some point in time, but just right now is probably the wrong time to have a goat up on my roof doing whatever crazy dog stuff doing. Oh, Dwayne is asking, how's the brown dog taking it? She's literally down here just asleep. One of the weird things about Biddy is that Biddy Brown just kind of ignores other dogs. She's just kind of ambivalent to other dogs. She's just like, oh, hey, yeah, that's a dog, right on. And then just goes about doing whatever the hell she's doing. Only when really jumpy, weird dogs that get in her face will she ever really react to them. She's just kind of like, whatever. So far, Mr. Chips here has been pretty much the same way. He seems pretty ambivalent, other than just wagging his tail at stuff. And like I said, the one thing he seems really interested in is eating the chickens. That's something that he seems to cry a little bit. But even when Biddy was barking at the UPS guy is the one thing that Biddy will definitely react to. The UPS guy dropping off packages, she will freak out. She does not like UPS guys at all. Slightly dislikes FedEx guys and the mailman, but UPS guys, I mean, they'd be driving up down the street, dropping a package off somewhere else, and she knows that they're near. To those of you freshwater fans, I didn't want to leave you guys out, but the 240 didn't really need anything to there. Didn't really need anything done to it today. It's actually running super clear. Tomorrow, probably Monday, I'm going to do water change and a little bit of maintenance on it. There isn't too much to do in it right now. Kyle's Wild World, what up, man? Yes, this is live. This is a live stream coming at you live. January 29th, coming at you hot and fresh. But yeah, here's the 240-gallon freshwater tank. It didn't really need anything today, but I definitely wanted to shoot some video of it because it just looks so nice, just flowing, and the killifish popping around, the Gardneri killifish doing their thing. A little bit of an update on those guys. They're still acting like they're breeding, but they're not breeding. So it's been a little bit irritating because they're acting like they know what they're doing, I feel like maybe they're just preteens a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If you catch my drift, that maybe they have an idea of what they want to do, but they don't know how to follow through yet. I don't know. So the wait continues while we hope that they breed, and we'll see what's going on here with these guys as time progresses. I still cannot manage to get one of the Apistos on video, so I think what I'm going to do is add some feeding blocks at some point in time. I'll probably add 3 of them, and then probably set up 2 cameras and just see if we can't get a good shot. Because there went one right there. One just went through the bushes right there. Hold on a second. See if we can't go back and try and get that. I gotta hold on. This is kind of a long video. So where are we at? 2:32. So we'd want to go maybe. No, that's not far enough. All right, maybe that's far enough. Let's see. We'll watch the video together. And nothing. Okay, maybe I was hallucinating. It's possible. A lot of those days in the past when I did drugs sometimes come back to me, even though I've been sober today. What's the sober count today? Who can come up with it? Who can guess close? Who can guess close how many days I've been sober? I wonder who can guess close. I wonder who can guess close. 267. No, you're way off. Oh, 3,000 is way off also. But it's in between there. 600. No. And Ashley Thomas. Nope, not one. So let's see here. I'm going to type it in. It's 4 digits. Ben Border is super close. Yeah, it's about 3 years and 3 months right now. I'm coming up on, let's see, it'll be a little bit until 3.5 years here, but that's coming. I like it, Gillett. It's pretty good. I like that. Well played, sir, from the TPS report man himself. Well played. So, but maybe I just that whole thing came up because I was making a joke and maybe I was hallucinating. Maybe I drank too much coffee today. But I have been sober for 1,173 days. But the funny thing is, Joel Gillett, I thought it was 1,174 this morning, but I was off by 1. Probably got something to do with a leap year or some nonsense. Who knows? But pretty good. Not bad. Not too bad. I want to get up to the 5 digits. That's my goal. That's my next goal, is to get up to 10,000 is my next goal. So getting there one day at a time. But, oh. Let's see here. Hold on a second. I'm trying to figure something out here. All right, let's go to that. And where is the thing? Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, I was just over here looking at something. We lost one of our patronizers. Oh, we lost one of our Patreon patronizers. Don't know why. Hopefully everything is okay. Yeah. So we've lost a patron. Well, that's never fun. But either way, we lost a patronizer, and that sucks. Maybe I pissed somebody off. We'll figure it out someday. Hopefully it's just a fluke. You never know. All right. Well, I don't see any Apistos on this video, but maybe it'll maybe one of them will pop up at some point in time. But anyhow, sorry, I got wildly distracted because the thing came up to let us know that that we lost somebody. Maybe it's from this video. I don't know. Must have done something. Oh, and that makes me sad, you guys. I don't like that. But either way, well, I hope nobody lost their job. I mean, me losing a Patreon is far less important than somebody's job. That would suck. So, okay. Well, either way, we'll move on. I guess they didn't like the new dog or something. Who knows? But either way, we moving right along. We'll get tearing through the Thunderdome here. But the like I said, the Killies still haven't bred. The Apistos actually are doing pretty well, but I just can't get. Maybe they. Maybe the Killies are just getting ready for total mayhem breeding. I don't know. But the Pistos, I just can't get them on video. Has been the biggest problem, and hopefully I can get them on video sometime soon. I figured maybe if I just set the camera up here, we would get to accidentally see one or something like that. I have been able to see them if I can get up there and look in the tank pretty good. But like I said, maybe I'll throw some feeding blocks in there and get a shot of one or two of them. But they definitely they have kind of doubled up in size since we got them, along with the bristlenose plecos that are in there. The bristlenose are doubled up and looking pretty good. Ben Border saying, keep up the hard work on sobriety. I understand how hard and freeing it can be. Yeah, it definitely is freeing for sure. Yeah, Dwayne, you're right. Maybe I need to set up an Apisto watch cam at some point in time, and then maybe people can email me if they happen to see one. Tell me what time they saw one. Kyle's Wild World was asking, I keep Killies in a 240-gallon tank. That is right, I do. Just wait until I do a 180-gallon crystal shrimp tank again. We'll be back with those fairly soon. It's going to be a month down the road or whatever. We'll see how well that works out. Luckily, if with that job falling through, well, the job didn't fall through. It just moved. It just moved dates. So the downside is I was counting on a lot of money from doing that gig to pay off a bunch of project stuff and do a bunch of projects for here. But that's just going to have to wait until later. So we'll see how that goes. But that does lead me some more time to do some of the other stuff that we need doing. I was talking to Long today about scheduling what day we're going to go over and do his 180s that are those two 180s that he has, we're going to start putting some plants in those. I know that he has the lights coming, and we'll be able to finish both of those tanks pretty soon. I don't know. I can't tell you what day we're going to be doing those 180s because we don't know yet when those are happening. Plus, I'm going to be working on, let's see, probably 3 new paintings coming up, other than just those shrimp paintings coming up here fairly soon. So we'll be doing that stuff too. So those of you that like maybe seeing time lapses of paintings and things like that, those will be coming up. And maybe you like those, maybe you don't. I don't know, but we're going to do them anyhow. But it may or may not free up some time for the next 3 weeks before we hit this 90-day period of doing all these live streams. We're going to hit that... maybe I'll have a little more time to dedicate towards this to doing better live streams and stuff. So maybe we'll see. Maybe there'll be some cool stuff coming up the next 3 weeks. I imagine that there will be. Like I said, that big job I was going to do was going to occupy quite a bit of time. So maybe it's a godsend. Maybe it's not. Either way, we'll see how it pans out over the next little bit here. So that part is that part. And then let's see. We'll just run in here. Let's just run in here to the chat and see what's going on. Neolamprologus multifasciitis are flashing on plants in hardscape, though very seldomly I see it happen throughout the colony once a day at least. Any tips? Well, I mean, here's the first thing I would say is that flashing can be a sign of many issues with fish, that is for sure. And I think you already know that because you're already concerned about it. So, it sounds... Why is your... Hold on a second. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, the first thing that I would always check for if I see anything, any fish flashing, I always check... I would always check for ick would be my first thing. Would be the first thing to check for, because typically when things are flashing onto stuff, parasite type stuff is the first problem that is the first thing that I would look for. Would be that. Realistically, the first thing I would look for is any kind of parasite that you can see, ick, any of the other parasites that you might see along there. Those shellies that you have, those neos, they shouldn't be bothered by that pH at all. In fact, that sounds like right in the range that they want to be at. So I would check to see more about what's going on with your water parameters and a parasite issue. Those are the two things that I would look for. It's possible, easy to check and see if there may or may not be simple parasites in your tank, like Hydra or any of that kind of weird little guys that you can actually see, because you could you can get in there and actually look in close and see those, like planaria and stuff like that, and see if that's going on. Maybe you have something in that realm. But I would keep an eye out for ick would be the first thing. I would check your temperature, check your ammonia for sure, see where that's at, see if your ammonia is weird, and check your KH and GH and see what's going on in there, because you may have something... you could have something going on with your water as far as your TDS could be like really weird, but I would start with those things and see what's going on. Almost always when I see fish starting to flash, it's almost always a water quality issue, so I would start doing your water changes right away, and then keep an eye out for ick as you're kind of going along. Ick would be like the most common thing if you see any of your fish flashing in your tank. That's the direction that I would go in that order and see what's going on with those guys. Which one? Let's see here. Hold on a second, guys. I want to look something up here. Oh, that's who it was. Alright. That shit bugs me. But either way, sorry, I was just checking something out there. Rat Cross, what's up? And Melody Monroe, what's up? Why are you so late? Why did you get the notification so late? What happened with that? what is going on there. And yes, we did get a new dog. Luke's got to go. Super busy, but I'll be back hopefully. Okay, well, either way. Joel Gillett says I should do a solid hour live stream of me just hiding behind a wall in a library, then jumping out in front of people and jumping out and yelling, "Surprises!" You'd watch that? I don't know that I would watch that. Although I have been catching myself watching. Who's this guy's channel? Hold on, let me figure out who this guy's channel is. Let's see. What's the channel I've been watching? Where's that guy? Domingo Ayala. If any of you have seen Domingo Ayala, that's how you spell it. I would check that guy out because it's the funniest baseball stuff I've ever seen. That guy's a genius. It is super funny. I've been watching that guy way too much. I need to get back to some fish videos. He has a lot of videos up. I've been watching a bunch of those and laughing my ass off. But I'm definitely going to get back to checking. I got a lot of fish videos to catch up on, so we'll see how we go with that. Let's see. So Melody, you were super late, so let me go back to this part right here, and I will show you. Nope, that's not the right one. That one. Okay, so everyone that showed up late, this is the new dog. His name is Mr. Chips, and he's a new old dog. He's an old rescue. I think he's a rat terrier and a healer, I think, mixed together. He's really not high-strung. He's really mellow. Although he looks like a dog that would be high-strung. You would imagine that this dog was high-strung. But somebody really took really good care of this dog. He doesn't have any abuse symptoms or anything like that. I think this was just some old guy's dog. And, even the shelter said it seemed like this type of dog, when this type of dog shows up, this is normally like an elderly person's dog that somebody passed away and their family doesn't want to take the dog for whatever reason. But yeah, he does look like a cattle dog cross. He's like a terrier and a healer or something mixed together. But he's a cutie patootie. He's a very nice dog. He has a great temperament and stuff like that. Like I said, it seems like somebody that really took care of him, and then maybe passed away or something like that. Which, but he's a cool little guy, and we'll see how he goes over the next week. If he's liking it here or not. So far today, he's liking it, but we want to see how well he does over the next week, especially maybe if, as he's left here with the other dog and that kind of stuff, just to make sure that he's comfortable here. If he's not, then maybe we'll have to find a different place for him to stay. But so far, so good. Little buddy, man. He'll come up and just hang out on your lap. You know what I mean? Call him up and just lay right down on your lap and chill out. I like that. That's definitely a good dog stuff. Cattle dogs do love their food. That seems to be the one time that he's been angry is when we fed him. He just kind of growled at Biddy a little bit, and Biddy just walked off. But that is the one thing that the kennel said, that you just have to feed him alone. You can't. He's the only time he's aggressive is at other dogs is when he's eating his food. So that was really the only issue that they ever had with him, which is pretty simple because you just put him in another room, feed him, done. Basically just a couple. As you know, dogs eat their food pretty darn fast, so it's not really a long process to get through. So it should be not a big deal. Joel saying I should name him Joey. He's 12 years old. His name's Mr. Chips. It seems a little late in the game to rename him, but maybe my next puppy I get, because when we move, I'm gonna get a healer again. When we move from here, I'm gonna get a healer again. Maybe I'll name him Joey. Who knows? All right. Well, that is that. And that is that. I wonder if there's anything else that we missed. Oh, Ashley Thomas messaged me this morning about drilling her tank. If anybody local in Tacoma drills tanks, this guy. If anybody in the southern western Washington area needs help with drilling their tanks or doing any plumbing or any of that kind of stuff, hit me up. If my schedule's open or whatever, I can definitely help you guys out if somebody needs help. There aren't very many local stores or anything like that that will drill tanks if you already own them or anything like that, and it's for warranty reasons. It voids the warranty on the tank. If they break it or crack it or screw it up in any way, then they have to buy you a new tank. It's a big issue. So going into stuff, generally speaking, if someone has a glass tank, I probably even have a spare one, so if something weird was to happen and to crack a tank or whatever, or I could just drill a tank from here, bring it over and drop it off, make a trade and figure out how much we're talking dollars and cents wise. So either way, anybody out here needs help with that, hit me up and we can sort something out for sure. And because I know, like I said, none of the local stores will do it. They just won't. And calling out a glass company to do it, I don't know. Maybe they would. Maybe a glass company would or whatever. But I'd imagine it'd be a pretty expensive to Melody. What is a Kelpie? What is a Kelpie? Australian Kelpie, or simply Kelpie, is an Australian sheepdog successful at mustering and droving with little or no guidance. It's a medium-sized dog and comes in a variety of colors. Male, 18 to 20 inches. Female, 17 to 19 inches. 31 to 46 pounders. All right. Intelligent, alert, energetic, loyal, friendly, eager. All right. Let's take a look at one of these beasts. Oh, okay, those are cute dogs. They look pretty close to healers, just a different coloring. All right. They're probably related. Probably related. Although healers have that, they just have that dirty old healer look to them, and they're just kind of junkyard doggy, which I really like about healers. They just seem like a dog you might run into in a junkyard, even though they're not dirty or anything like that. They're pretty good. Oh, okay. Yeah, Ashley, I did message you back. I think I know a ton of people have run into this problem, is that they need to drill their tank and stuff like that. I've drilled lots and lots of people's tanks. Just message me back, and we'll be able to figure out a time and a place or any of that kind of stuff to do it. Obviously, I can't do it for free, but if we can figure it out, that all makes sense. And yeah. But we are coming up on the hour part here, so it's just the last little part that we can get to some questions or anything like that anybody has. It is kind of Saturday, so Saturday is, what do you call it? I mean, it's pretty relaxed today because it's Saturday, realistically, right? Guys, it's pretty relaxed. So. What is this? Alright, whatever. I get weird notifications from Facebook trying to tell me to, do something. Oh, and now, apparently my mom is posting to the internet. I know that my mom doesn't watch this, but my mom's skills on the internet are, they leave something to be desired, and it is pretty funny when she posts things to the internet. All right. Well, okay. All right. Let's all just go take a nap, guys. It's Saturday night, so I think I'm probably going to go watch a comedy special that I've been looking forward to watch. And we'll check that out. Oh, man, snuck it in right there at the end. Open border 09. All right, let's see, Ben. Ben is asking, in my fish room build, should I go with sponge filters or hang on back? You have 20 longs. You'll have 20 long to 40 breeders. I'm not sure. What's wrong with my nose? Something weird going on there. So here's really the question that I have for you while I talk about something else in regards to that. How many fish tanks are we talking about here? Because that's realistically would make me sway one way or another. If you only had 3 or 4 tanks, I would go hang on back. Just because it's easy to manage hang on back filters if you only have a couple of them. And it would be a little bit easier. All right, so you have 8 total. All right, so 8 total is going to start getting into crazy town with just too many filters and all that kind of stuff, too many wires, too much nonsense, too much electrical draw when you get down to it, realistically, because you're going to have to run cords from other outlets and all that kind of stuff to keep your wattage down, to make sure that you have the right stuff going on there. But I would definitely go with sponge filters with that many tanks. 8 tanks isn't obviously a lot of us have seen and or have had bigger setups. 8 tanks is enough tanks. That's kind of, 6 is sort of the cutoff where it starts getting crazy with having a whole bunch of different filters. But I would definitely go with sponge filters on this, because you can actually build an air manifold and have them all just run off of one air manifold. You have one pump going. It'll be much quieter and much easier to manage with the sponge filters. But like I said, if you only had a couple of tanks, you could definitely go with hang on back, because it'd be pretty easy to manage those. But 8, 10, 20, 30, 40 hang on back filters, welcome to a huge nightmare. So like I said, it kind of really depends on that. If I was going to plumb up eight tanks, I would probably plumb them up all into one big sump and do it that way, because then it would be really easy for me to do all the water changes and all that stuff out of the sump, and have a big bile load in the sump and be able to polish from the sump, and only one heater down there. So my breeding tanks would have no heaters in them. Those of you that pay attention to some of my really old videos that used to have stacks of 4 10-gallon tanks that I would breed my betas in and stuff like that. So, but I would definitely go sponge filter if that's what you're doing, and you don't, especially if you don't want to do all that plumbing for a sump and stuff. Sponge filter would be the best. And then just be sure to hook up all of the heaters. If you're going to be running all those little heaters in every single tank, then make sure to have those isolated onto 2 different outlets. Too many heaters into one outlet, just be safe. And just pay attention to what you're doing. Pretty easy to pay attention. It's not very difficult. So I would do that. And if you're doing all salt... Oh, is your breeding room all salt water? That changes... honestly, that would kind of change everything if you were doing 8 saltwater tanks. 8 saltwater tanks, I wouldn't do either. I would do only a sump on a big breeding saltwater room like that. So I don't know. If you're doing saltwater, do a big sump. If you're doing freshwater, just do the sponge filters. That's going to be your best bet. All right, that's going to be it for Saturday, you guys. Okie dokie. Hold on. There we go. All right, click the buttons. Oh, hold on. I forgot to click the other button. All right. I forgot to click the other button. What is this doing? Gotta go over here and click these buttons. All right. Well, there we go. So, you're doing... So, all right, now I'm confused. Is your breeding... So your breeding room is going to be fresh and saltwater? Your fish room build... Should I go with sponge rooms? Oh, so it's actually just a fish room. You know what? I thought you were going with like breeder racks or something like that. Okay. Whoosh! Narrowly avoided a bad answer from this guy right here. A guy just got here. All right. What up? No worries, a guy. We'll be back tomorrow, but we'll also be here for the next couple of minutes. So don't worry, stick with us. But if you're building if you're building a fish room that is split like mine is, I would give you the same advice that I gave myself at one point in time. Plumb all these tanks up into sumps. That's what I would do personally. But like, let's say you had three of the 40 breeders were going to be your salt system. I would plumb those all together into a salt system with a big sump. And if you see the video where I went to Potato's house, that's basically what he did there. So he had a 75, 75, 75 right in the middle, and then he had two 75s up above and then a sump down below. That all those saltwater tanks were all running off of the same big system to get a really nice big water volume and all that kind of stuff. That's what he was doing. And then all the freshwater tanks, if you're just running kind of small freshwater tanks and stuff like that, I would set up one rack of them and have them all run off of sponge filters, unless you want to do big display style. But honestly, if you're doing 20 gallons and 40-gallon tanks, I don't think that they're super outlandish to just stick with a good sponge filter on those ones and just have them all running. And then the upside with that is that you'll be able to take the sponge filter and equipment out pretty easily for like photography or any of that kind of stuff. If it just kind of really depends on the setup. So okay, yeah. So why don't you, hey Ben, why don't you email me? If you go over to darkstararts.com, my email is right there. You can email me directly from there, from the contact information that's on there. Let me know your setup, and then we'll actually get to I will get to the to kind of my advice on the overall setup. If you email me some more information on exactly what you're doing, we can talk about that and figure it out a little bit. John Wilson is saying Aqua Clear 70s draw 6 watts each, so power draw from AC 70s isn't really an issue. That said, I would do sponges without a doubt. Yeah, okay. Well, either way, I don't have time to answer that right now. But I'll answer the Aqua Clear 70s answer tomorrow or something. We'll talk about electricity tomorrow. All right, guys. I want to say thanks to all the patronizers out there because we have no super chatters tonight. So let's say thank you to Long Woo, Steven Scogland. I don't know where Steven was tonight. Thank you to Aquarium Co-op, Joel Gillett, who was here, M. Den Hollander, who we don't know where he was, Sashimi Whiskey, Jennifer J. Saracino, which we have no idea where she was, Matt Gilmet, who was here earlier today, thank you very much, and Karen K.Z. Ellis, who I hope will return very soon. But thank you all to all the patronizers out there, and thank you to everybody who showed up into the chat, from Ben Border to Aquarium Cop to Dark Heart Animal to Flip Aquatics, Flip Tropic, Reef and Life Bearer Aquatics, all y'all, April, Valley Fish, Dion, all y'all, thanks for showing up tonight. I hope everybody has a terrific Saturday. Stay safe out there. Don't get totally weird. Just get regular weird. And, we'll be back at you tomorrow with not just me, but another guy. One of them Derricks. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and Rack Cross with the late super chat. Well, thank you very much, Rack. I definitely appreciate it. American style. It doesn't have any secret code in front of it. But Rack Cross, thank you very much. I should probably check out your channel. Do you have a channel? Rack Cross, do you have a channel? I'm going to check out your channel. I'm going to go to your channel and take a look at it. Let's see. Oh, Rack Cross, 0 subscribers. There you go. 1 subscriber. Mr. Corvus Ocean himself is your only subscriber. Check that out. Ha ha! What up now, kid? Thank you very much for the super chat, Rack Cross. Deadboy NYC, have a great night. Dark Heart Animal, have a great night for sure. Hopefully see you soon. And Rack Cross going the River Life. Thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate it. All goes right back into making more of this nonsense. So we'll see how this goes over the next 3 weeks. Fingers crossed, suckers. Cover up your ears, because here comes the Mike Shaking Later. Gotta sound just like the vacuum.